Good morning, everyone. Hi, Karuna. Good morning, everyone. Bhikkhuni Khemavamsi from Thailand, from Mahavanatutangka, the seventh branch of Nirodharam, Bhikkhuni monastery in Thailand. This is gonna be the first time that I'm doing solo, talking solo. Thank you very much for the Buddhist Insight and for the Empty Cloud Monastery and all the Pante and Ayya that give me this opportunity. Today, before we proceed on the topic of the four kinds of concentration, let us pay respect, pay homage to the Blessed One. นะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะ Good morning, Kit, and good morning, everyone. Actually, good evening here from Thailand, as you can see at the back. Hi, John. So today, as I mentioned earlier, that I'm gonna do solo this time. So yes, I hope everything's gonna be great. Good morning, everyone. Today's topic is about the four kinds of concentration. I have attached the links in the comment section, so you can have a look. I will be talk about this sutta and give the explanation of the five hindrances and like a lot of things that related to meditation. So I think you've learned something interesting today. Good morning, everyone. Before we proceed on to the discussion and reading the comments, I would like to read you the sutta. The sutta here is called Samadhi Pavana Sutta. As the links attached is from the Anguttara Nikaya, the book of the fourth concentration. Here I give you the translation from Thanisaro Bhikkhu. I think this one is easy for me to understand, and is because I read in Thai Tipitaka, and I think this one is pretty much similar to the Thai translation. So okay, let's begin. Monks, these are the four developments of concentration. Which four? There is the development of concentration that, when developed and pursued, leads to a pleasant abiding in the here and now. There is the development of concentration that, when developed and pursued, leads to the attainment of knowledge and vision. There is the development of concentration that, when developed and pursued, leads to the mindfulness and alertness. There is the development of concentration that, when developed and pursued, leads to the ending of the affluence or defilements. So in short, there are the four developments of concentration or meditation. Which four? The first one, when developed and pursued, it will lead to a pleasant abiding in the here and now, that the happiness in the present moment. The second one is it leads to the attainment of knowledge or vision. It involves kind of supernormal ability, things like that. The third one, it leads to mindfulness and alertness of the consciousness of the mind. So I think this one, the third type, a lot of you familiar with this one, right? And the last one, there's the development of concentration that leads to the ending of defilements or kilesa or unwholesome qualities. So there are four kinds of developments of concentration. The first one, talking about the first one, what is the development of concentration that, when developed and pursued, leads to a pleasant abiding in the here and now. There is the case where a monk, a person quite withdrawn from sensuality, withdrawn from unskillful qualities, enters and remains in the first jhana. Rapture and pleasure born from withdrawal, accompanied by directed thought and evaluation. With the stilling of directed thoughts and evaluations, he enters and remains in the second jhana. Rapture and pleasure born of composure, unification of awareness free from directed thought and evaluation, internal assurance. With the fading of rapture, he remains equanimous, mindful, and alert, and senses pleasure with the body. He enters and remains in the third jhana, of which the Noble Ones declare, equanimous and mindful, he has a pleasant abiding. With the abandoning of pleasure and pain, as with the earlier disappearance of elation and distress, he enters and remains in the fourth jhana, purity of equanimity and mindfulness, neither pleasure nor pain. This is the development of concentration that, when developed and pursued, leads to a pleasant abiding in the here and now. This is the first kind of development of concentration, to have the happiness in the present time, to have the pleasant abiding in the here and now. But so as you can, listen, you can hear that it's all about to reach the jhana, reach the state of the meditative like tranquility, the jhana. So let us talk more about the jhana or the Zen or the like many different words, but the Pali word is jhana, right? To be able to reach the jhana, there's a lot of factors, but the important one that you have to get rid of the 5 hindrances. Actually, I used to actually mention here, right, Karuna, that I'm gonna talk in the past with the Pante Sudaso, right? But so let's talk more in this session. The 5 hindrances are in Pali word, Nivarana, Nivarana, or the 5 hindrances. It's actually the thing that, like the main obstacle to reach the meditative state of mind or the jhana. It prevents the development of concentration. Which 5? The first one, sensual desire, kama chanta. The second one, ill will, payata. Third one, sloth or torpor, or the tina mita, like a drowsiness, laziness. The fourth one, distraction and remorse or anxiety, uttacca, kukucca. And the fifth, doubt, uncertainty, or vichikicha. If you have these 5, it's gonna prevent you to reach the tranquility, to reach the meditative state of mind. For example, the first one, sensual desire. If you still think of like the delicious food, you still think of, I think I want to go to concert. I want to listen to the concert. I would like to watch the movie. I would like to like go to the new restaurant, something like that. If you still like attach or try to like embrace with the sensual desire, then it's gonna obstruct, it's gonna prevent you to reach the meditative of concentration, because you're gonna think about that all the time, right? And it's hard to make the mind still and calm. The second one, ill will. For example, like when you're angry with someone, maybe with your friends, and the anger is still with you. And with the anger still with you, it's very hard to reach the meditative state of mind, because or you think like, why did he have to, talk about this, or that, why did he have to mention this to other person, why did we have to, um, argue about that, something like that. So if there is still anger arising and existing, you still embrace the anger within you, then it's hard to meditate. The third one, sloth and torpor, is like the laziness. When you lazy, when you want to sleep, when you lack of sleep, and when like the body is not ready and the mind is not ready, and you think like, oh, I don't want to do it now, it's gonna prevent you to reach the meditative state of mind. The fourth one, distraction and remorse or anxiety. Like when you think a lot, when you have like the monkey mind, like wandering around, like, oh, I think I want to go to the grocery. Or what should I get from the grocery? Or maybe the milk, or which brand, or maybe and then I have to get the cheese, and then I have to get like many things, many things going on in the head, in the mind, like distraction, anxiety, and many thinking, many thought going on. So gonna prevent you to reach to reach the meditative state of mind. And the last one, doubt or uncertainty. Doubt here, for example, oh, is this a good technique? Is it like should I do this? Should I breathe in? Which mantra do I have to use the mantra? Or how long do you have to sit? Is it the right one? Is it the right way to meditate? Something like that. If you keep doubting yourself, doubting the technique, the method, or doubting the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha, it's gonna prevent the development of concentration. Actually, the Buddha gave the many suttas about the 5 hindrances. This one is very interesting. It's called, I think it's called, hang on, let me find. It's called Sankaravo Sutra, SN 46.55. The Buddha uses water as an example to give the feeling of the hindrances. From this sutra, you can see like because the Buddha illustrated very well. The Buddha said, imagine a bowl of water mixed with lac, turmeric, dark green, or crimson dye. If a man with good eyesight were to look at the reflection of his own face in it, he would not know or see it as it really was. In the same way, when a man dwells with his heart, with his mind possessed and overwhelmed by sensual desire, then he cannot know or see as it really is what is for his benefit, to the or the other people's benefit, or the profit or the benefit of both. Then even sacred words he has long studied are not clear to him, not to mention those he has not studied. Again, when a man dwells with his heart possessed and overwhelmed with ill will, then he cannot know or see. Imagine a bowl of water heated on a fire, boiling up and bubbling over. If a man with good eyesight were to look at the reflection of his own face in it, in the boiling water, he would not know or see it as it really was. Again, when a man dwells with his heart possessed and overwhelmed with sloth and torpor, the laziness, then he cannot know or see. Just like a bowl of water covered over with slimy moss and water plants, if a man with good eyesight were to look at the reflection of his own face in it, he would not know or see it as it really was. Again, when a man dwells with his heart possessed and overwhelmed by worry and flurry, distraction and anxiety, then he cannot know or see. Imagine a bowl of water ruffled by the wind, so that the water trembled, eddied, and rippled. If a man with good eyesight were to look at the reflection of his own face in it, he would not know or see it as it really was. Again, when a man dwells with his heart possessed and overwhelmed by doubt and wavering, he cannot know or see. This is from the Sankaravo Sutta, SN 46.55. And again, there's one more sutra. It's called Avarana Sutta. In the Avarana Sutta, Anguttara Nikaya, AN 5.51, the book of the five, the Buddha described the effects of the hindrances. The Buddha said, these five are obstacles, hindrances that overwhelmed awareness and weaken wisdom. Which five? The first one, sensual desire. Sensual desire is an obstacle, a hindrance that overwhelms awareness and weakens discernment. The second one, ill will. The third one, sloth and torpor or drowsiness or laziness. The fourth one, distraction, restlessness, and anxiety. And the last one is doubt or uncertainty. These five are an obstacle, a hindrance that overwhelms awareness and weakens wisdom. This, for example, when a person has not abandoned these five obstacle hindrances, when he is without strength and weak in wisdom, for him to understand what is for his own benefit, to understand what is for the benefit of others, to understand what is for the benefit of both, to realize a superior human state, a truly noble distinction in knowledge and vision that is impossible. Suppose there were a river flowing down from the mountains, going far, its current swift, carrying everything with it, and a man would open channels leading away from it on both sides, so that the current in the middle of the river would be dispersed, diffused, and dissipated. It wouldn't go far, right? Its current wouldn't be swift, and it wouldn't carry everything with it. In the same way, when a monk or when a person has not abandoned these five obstacles, hindrances that overwhelm awareness and weaken wisdom, when he is without strength and weak in wisdom, for him to understand what is for his own benefit, for the benefit of others, for both, to understand or to realize a superior human state, a truly noble distinction in knowledge and vision, that is impossible. Now, when a person has abandoned these five obstacles, when he is strong in discernment, for him to understand all that I mentioned, a truly noble distinction in knowledge and vision that is possible. So from all these sutra talking about the hindrances, then you know what are the five hindrances, right? And the benefit of getting rid of the five hindrances. So be able to reach the jhana, the meditative state of mind, then you have to get rid of these five hindrances. So it's very important. Now you know that the cost to be able to attain or to reach the meditative state of mind. Then now we're going to talk about the jhana. The jhana or the jhana, right? I actually jhana, like for Thai, like for like in Thailand, we study in Pali language, right? And I think there's a lot of like not similar in terms of translation or the like here when I search for the translation for jhana, it said like just like the state of mind that full of consciousness or the meditative state of mind. But in Thai translation, it means to focus, like the piercing focus, like, just focus. So to attain the jhana, then you have to focus. But eventually I found some translation that I think is good. It's good because I think it's like illustrate or describe the word that for Thai people that we learn this similar translation and explanation as well. This is from Dhamma Pali English Glossary. Shana refers to a particular state of mind in which consciousness does focus on a single object or no object at all for the arupa shana. The shana is the outcome of the pure concentration obtained by focusing the mind on a single object. There do exist 40 different meditative supports meant for the one-pointedness of mind. We call kammathana, the 40 objects of meditation. We do distinguish two types of shana, which do comprise each 4 different levels that can be experienced according to the profundity of mental concentration. The first category is called rupa shana. The second is called arupa shana. Altogether, there are 8 shana, 8 levels of shana. The first 4 is called rupa shana. The 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th is called arupa shana. But as in the right concentration, as in the Noble Eightfold Path, the Buddha mentioned the first 4. Why? Because it's rupa shana, and it's still, it's for the arupa shana, like the 5th to the 8th, the 5th to the 8th, yeah, it's very hard to, there's nothing to focus. It's just like no rupa, no form. So it's very, very hard to, like see the 3 characteristics as they are, like anicca, impermanence, tukkha, always change, and transient, and arupa, not self. It's very hard to see because arupa, no form, nothing, just like tranquility. So the first 4 rupa shana, you can see it in the Noble Eightfold Path. Okay? Development of jhana arises from the temporary suspension of the 5 hindrances through the development of the 5 mental factors. There are 5 mental factors in order to reach the jhana. The first one, vitakka. The second one, vichara, and then piti, sukha, and ekakhata. This is all in Pali. Vitakka, what does it mean? Vitakka is mean directed thought, or for me personally, vitakka, not just like the thought or directed thought, but is to bring up one subject into the mind. For example, Putto, you have heard about a Putto, right? Buddha is the Buddha, right? So it's to contemplate on the, like the goodness of the Buddha. So we use the word Putto. In Thai accent is Putto. Like when you breathe in, put, breathe out, to. So when you breathe in and you breathe out, always think of the Buddha or the Blessed One. This is one of the kind of the samatha or the tranquility of mind, to reach the tranquility of mind. Put, to. So when you bring up the word Putto for the first time is vitakka, or the directed thought. Bring up one subject into the mind, vitakka. Putto. Or people can use like Arahang Samma is about the Buddha. Itipiso Pakoa is also about the Buddha. So any kind you can say like a mantra. But for us, like for Thai, a lot of people use the Putto. So the first time that you bring up this subject, Putto, we call vitakka, or the directed thought. The second one is vichara. Vichara, they have the translation as evaluation. But for me, vichara is mean like still lingering on to that thought. For example, bring up Putto into the mind, Putto, and then you carry on this thought, carry on this mantra, Putto, Putto, continuously. For example, when you try to make dough, right? When you try to like make a pizza, make dough, you have to knead the dough, right? First time you have to bring up the flour to make dough, right? Make the flour, and then you have to knead the dough, knead the flour, right? So it's like vitakka, contemplating to that idea, contemplating to that mantra, lingering on to that thought, putto continuously. That for me is vichara. So vitakka and vichara is come together. Vitakka the first time, and then vichara, contemplating. There's one sutra that the Buddha use this kind of illustration to portray the vitakka in vichara. For example, you have a cow, like the small cow, and there's one pole, right? Actually, I plan to bring like the bell for you, but this one I forgot, sorry. There's one pole here, and then you tie the cow to the pole, right? So now the cow to the pole, this is like vitakka. Okay, now to the pole. And then when the cow tied to the pole, when they want to walk, they're gonna walk like this, right? In circle. So it's just like vichara, contemplating the thought in circle continuously over and over and over, just like the sound of the bell. When you hit the bell, ding, and then there's echo of the sound, ding. That's vichara. So vitakka, vichara. And then the third one is piti. When you have vitakka, vichara, putto continuously, lingering on to that thought, and then suddenly you have the rapture, the goosebump, the rapture, the elation, and then sukha, happiness, pleasure arise. And then without the five hindrances, you have the one-pointedness of mind. That one-pointedness of mind we call ekakhata ramana, one-pointedness of mind. So if you have these five mental factor, vitakka, vichara, lingering on, elation or rapture, you have pleasure, and you have one-pointedness of mind, like no five hindrances that we mentioned earlier. That means you enter the first jhana. If you have these five, then you enter the first jhana. But if no more vitakka vichara, no directed thought, no contemplating over it, it just suddenly just appear, just like the word, just like the sound of bell, ding. And then if you have five, and then suddenly it stop, just let it stop. For some people, oh, it stopped. No, putto, no. If it stopped and you still have the tranquility of mind, let it go. If you have rapture, elation, pleasure, and then one-pointedness of mind, that means if you have these five, that means you enter the second jhana. But if no more elation, no more goosebump, no more rapture, you have pure pleasure and one-pointedness of mind, that means you reach the third jhana. But when the happiness or the pleasure fade away, no more pleasure, but you have the equanimity. Equanimity is better than the pleasure or the sukha. Then you have equanimity and one-pointedness of mind. That means you reach the fourth jhana. And for the fourth jhana, no more pain, no more physical pain, no more pleasure, just equanimity and one-pointedness of mind. That means you reach the fourth jhana. And when you reach the fourth jhana, you cannot feel the breathing. Suddenly, the breathing is just like try to fade away, fade away, fade away. And after the fourth jhana, and then you reach the arupa jhana, which means that only the consciousness remain devoid of any object, nothing, just the equanimity, which equanimity is better than happiness. So this all about jhana. So get back to the first kind of development of concentration, right? That the Buddha said. The first one is about to pleasant, to the happiness in the here and now. Why? It's when you reach the first jhana to the fourth jhana. That means when you meditate, the meditation lead to the happiness in the here and now, to the present moment. That is one kind of concentration. That is one kind of meditation. Now, the second type of meditation is the development of concentration that, when developed and pursued, leads to the attainment of knowledge and vision. Vision here, it's not like the wisdom to know things as they are. That's in the fourth type. But the second type is, it has something related to the supernormal ability, like the psychic power, things like that. How? The Buddha said, there is the case where a monk attends to the perception of light and is resolved on the perception of daytime at any time of the day. Day is the same as night. Night is the same as day. By means of an awareness opens and unhampered, he develops a brightened mind. This is the development of concentration that, when developed and pursued, leads to the attainment of knowledge and vision. This one, in Pali, if you study in Pali, they use the word aloka, aloka sanya, that you remember aloka is like the bright light, just like the light from the sun, like the light as in daytime. Here, this technique, you might have heard in the Mokkhalana Sutta, the sutta that the Mokkhalana Thera attained the arahantship. The Buddha said, if you feel sleepy, if you want to sleep, like sleepy all the time, then try aloka sanya. Then you think, the bright light. For example, now here it's dark time, it's night. It's nighttime in Thailand. It's dark outside. But if you do the aloka sanya, the nighttime here is just as bright as the daylight, something like that. So as the Buddha said, day is the same as night. Night is the same as day. Here you have to learn more about the kasina. I think for the Westerner, maybe for Thai and for Burma here, we have a lot of master, a lot of teacher who practice kasina. So maybe for me, we practice kasina here. But when I talk to like the Pante or the like Western monks, they don't really do the kasina. It's more popular to do, is like not popular, but yeah, they do like anapanasati, the breathing technique, and the satipatthana, like kind of the wisdom, the insight, vipassana, right? But here we do both samatha, tranquility, and vipassana, the insight. And for kasina, it's in the category of the tranquility or samatha. Yes. And there's a lot of master, there's a lot of teacher to practice kasina as well. And aloka here is another kind of kasina. Why do we have to do this? It's just like equipment, it's another tool. It's good for you to reach the Nibbana, to attain the liberation of all kilesa and defilements. It's like ultimate goal for us all. But for some people, maybe they're familiar with the samatha or the kasina. And when you practice a lot of kasina, when you be able to succeed in kasina, then you possess the supernormal ability. For example, this one that the Buddha said, if you practice aloka sanya, just like day and night is the same, then you can have the vision. What you want to see, you can see just anything. And this is actually the truth, because a lot of teachers, like in the past, they can have like the vision. So this is another kind to have the vision, just like the psychic power or the supernormal ability. But not many people can do that nowadays. But that's the second type of the concentration that the Buddha mentioned in this sutra. Now we move to the third one. The third one, the Buddha said, what is the development of concentration that, when developed and pursued, leads to mindfulness and alertness? There is the case where feelings are known to the monk as they arise, known as they persist, known as they subside. Perceptions are known to him as they arise, known as they persist, known as they subside. Thoughts are known to him as they arise, known as they persist, known as they subside. This is the development of concentration that, when developed and pursued, leads to mindfulness and alertness. This is the third type. Why? A lot of us practice mindfulness, right? That we know what we're doing now. But here, the Buddha said, if the feelings arise, then you know that, oh, the feelings arise. The pleasant feelings arise. Unpleasant feelings arise. Now it persists. Oh, it's gone. It subsides. It ceases. It fades away. Then you know as they really are. Oh, the thought comes. This is for the meditation, right? When you sit, oh, perception comes, persists, oh, just fade away. Now the thoughts come, persist, fade away. Oh, memory. Now I remember. Oh, the memory comes, arise, persist, fades away. Then you try to acknowledge just things that going on in the head. Here is not the samatha. Here is like vipassana, to know, okay, oh, thought arise, oh, subside, oh, feelings arise, subside. And if you know like this, and if you develop and pursue like this meditation leads to mindfulness and alertness of the mind. And the last one, what is the development of concentration that, when developed and pursued, leads to the ending of the effluence, the ending of defilements and wholesome qualities? There is the case where a monk remains focused on arising and falling away with reference to the 5 clinking aggregates. Such is form. Oh, such is origination. Such is passing away. Such is feeling. Oh, this is origination. Such is passing away. Such is perception. Such is origination. Such is passing away. Such are fabrications. Such their origination. Such their passing away. Such is consciousness. Such is origination. Such is disappearance. This is the development of concentration that, when developed and pursued, leads to the ending of defilements. These are the 4 development of concentration. The last one, the third and the fourth one, is all vipassana, the insight to cultivate the wisdom, the mindfulness as well. The mindfulness is, it can be categorized as the samatha. right? That you know what you're doing as well. And if you see the characteristic that arise, persist, subside, it can be categorized as the vipassana as well, because they're insight, right? And the fourth one is pure wisdom. You know that the five clinking aggregates, the five aggregates, right? Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, and Vinyana. You know that when it arises, all you know is origination, and you know it passed away. So this is like the wisdom. Be able to reach that state, you have to like listen to a lot of Dhamma. You have to understand about the five aggregates, and you have to know like the origination. For example, the origination of the feeling is the phassa, or the contact that I used to give the talk, maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I think. Then you have to learn the origination, or maybe you have to study more in the 12 links of dependent origination, I think it's the word, paticcasamuppada. Then you can cultivate, and by doing so, it will lead you to the ending of all defilements, which arahantship. And these are the 4 developments of concentration. To summarize in short, the first one, for a pleasant abiding in the here and now. The second one, the attainment of knowledge and vision. The third one, mindfulness and alertness. And the fourth one, the ending of all defilements. These are the 4 kinds of development of concentration. So now you know, like, okay, there's a lot of way to practice meditation, right? As I mentioned, there are 40 subjects of meditation we call kammatthana. You can use the anapanasati, the breathing without technique. You can use the putto, it's like the puttanusati, recollection of the Buddha. You can use like the satipatthana, for the mindfulness. You can use a lot of things. You have to try first, because a lot of things, but you have to have the teacher first as well. And then you have to try, okay, and this one, not really for me. Then you can use another technique, right? It's not just like, okay, you have to do the mindfulness, just only one, no. Or you have to do the kasina, just only one, no. You have to learn, and then know for yourself, like, this is for you, this technique is for you. And when you do, you have to learn that there are 2 kinds of meditation, samatha and vipassana. Samatha is for the tranquility, right? It's a tranquility, it's concentration meditation, while vipassana is for the insight into the nature, the 3 characteristics, anicca, dukkha, anatta, and then to get rid of all defilements, to have like the true wisdom. It's all equally important. Why I have to mention about this? Because for, I don't know about you, but for Thai people, they say like, only vipassana is good. No, it's not like that. 2 kinds of meditation, samatha and vipassana, come together. It help. Samatha will give you strength. We give you like the strength of the mind. Vipassana, when you have samatha, the strength of the mind, the one-pointedness of mind, and then you can go another step to vipassana, to insight. When you have the focused mind, and then you can see things as they really are, like, anicca is just arise and then subside. So in order to reach the vipassana, then you have to have the samatha, or one-pointedness of mind, or the tranquility, to get rid of the 5 hindrances. So it's equally important. Yes, this is like the thing that I would like to mention. is equally important. And the meditation is the thing that it cannot, like make it happen, which is within like 1 day, 7 days retreat, or like a 15 days retreat. Some people can reach the jhana within like maybe like 7 days retreat, but not for everyone to be able to do that, right? Because it needs time, it needs practice, it needs a lot of factors. Just like when you plant um, the plant, when you plant the mango tree, it's different, and it requires different, period of time as you plant like a pothi tree. Pothi tree and mango tree, it doesn't require the same amount of time to grow, right? So it needs, in order to grow, it needs like soil, um, the water, to get rid of the insects. You have to have like the sunlight, the rain, and the air, and many factors for the seed to grow, and for it to have like the fruit for you, for example, like the mango tree. So you don't know which process you are now, right? For that person, they may be like plant the mango tree for 3 past life. So now when you try to meditate for the first time, then reach the jhana. But now you're still a beginner. You maybe start from the last life, and now, okay, now it's just like from the seed, just grow like 1 centimeter or something like that. So you cannot know your past life. You cannot know like your past action, right? But now you know that I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna, like progress bit by bit. Do not compare to other people. Compare to yourself. Like, okay, I'm better. I practice more. I I make a lot of I make a little process than yesterday. Then it's good, because meditation, it requires time, practice, and knowledge as well. And you have to learn for yourself about the 5 hindrances, about, this is the thought, okay, this is the memory, this is like the feeling that arise. You have to learn for yourself. And also for this topic, there are 4 kinds of concentration. This time you want them to be mindful. You want to be mindful, then you do the mindfulness meditation. This time I want to feel happiness, want to feel pleasure, want to feel happy in the here and now, in the present moment. Then you can reach the jhana if you can. Not everyone can reach the jhana, and then you can reach the jhana. But if you say like, I want to have the vision like a supernormal, a superpower, something like that, then you practice aloka sanya. But if you want to get rid of all defilements, you want like no more birth, no more death, no more sickness, then practice the fourth kind to get rid of all defilements. Yes. So that's it. That about the sutra that I brought to you. I hope you all understand. The first time for me to do solo. So now I'm gonna read a comment. Hi, Spook Water. I'm sorry if I mispronounced like your name. Hi, Karuna. Hi, Kit. Hi, John. Hi, S. Joff. Hi, Sultan. Oren. Good morning. Jewel. Chagma. Satu. Satu. Vilas Kembo. Gita. Shines with the light of the sun. Manan. Sumatreya. Wantami Mahasankha. Satu. Satu. Hi, Pamela. Hi, Nirashan. From Nepal, Buddha's birthplace. I'm very blessed for you to be able to be from the Buddha's birthplace. You have any question? I hope you understand. And Why that we have to talk about the concentration? What is so important about the meditation? The meditation is very important because it's the step for you to be able to see things as they are. If you reach the meditative state of mind, then that means you have the one-pointedness of mind, focus. And when you focus, when you tranquil, when you still like this, when things arise, persist, fade away, arise, persist, subside, and then you can see. It's just like one of the sutra. It's just like when you overlook at the pond, and if the water, like a ripple, have the ripple. If you throw the rock into the pond and got the ripple, you cannot see down there, right, in the pond. Like, I cannot see because of the ripple, because of all the dirt or the mud or something like that. But if the water is still and clear, it's just like when you have the one pointedness of mind, focus, clear, and still, then you can see down there, there are fish, there are rocks, there are shrimp, something like that. So the meditation is important to use as a tool, equipment, to have the insight, to be able to see things as they are, to see the three characteristics, anicca, dukkha, anatta. And so, like in the Noble Eightfold Path, right? Samma Samadhi. After that, I think it's called Sammatta 10. It's in Thai anyway. I'm sorry, I didn't look up in the English word. From Samma Samadhi, and then you have Sammayana, or the right knowledge, the right wisdom. And from the Sammayana, then you have Samma Vimutti, or the right liberation. So the meditation is just another tool to have the right wisdom. And when you have the right wisdom, then you have the right liberation. Liberation from what? From all defilements, from all unwholesome qualities, and to reach the nibbana, nirvana. So think of the meditation is the way to have the right jhana, right knowledge, right wisdom, to be able to attain the supreme happiness. Hi Sarita, is aloka is aloka sanya is the same as samatha practice? Yes, it's the same as samatha practice. It's one of the samatha. Aloka sanya, aloka kasina. Yes, it's one of the kind of the samatha. Any more question? So today you've learned a lot. You've learned about the four kinds of development of concentration. You've learned about the word shana. You've learned about the five hindrances, nivarana, and the effects and the sutra about the hindrances that the Buddha talked about it. And also learned about the importance of meditation. Think of it as a tool. Hi, Kit. Kit says samatha, that's the word for tranquility meditation. Yes. I would love another teaching on tranquility meditation in the future if possible. Yes, I would be able to do that for you. Samatha or the tranquility meditation, there's a lot to talk about it. And yes, I can do it in the future. That I mentioned about the tranquility meditation and wisdom, or you call the insight meditation, right? Why I have to mention about this? Because in the past, I'm also one of the people in Thailand. They say like, oh, we have to do the insight meditation, just only that one. But if you don't practice the tranquility meditation or samatha, it's hard for you to reach, to be able to see the insight. Why? Because it's not it's not calm. The mind is not that calm. The mind is not have that strength. It's just like it doesn't have strength like to climb the ladder, to know or to see things as they really are. So from that time, then I know like, oh, you have to practice samatha as well, and samatha and vipassana together, and then you can see things as they really are. Hi, how do you pronounce your name? Shala, James. Your solo teaching today was wonderful. Thank you very much. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. I don't really feel comfortable to do on my own because I cannot think of the vocabulary. I think the English is not that good. Moderate is like, moderate, not that good. The vocabulary is still limited, so I have to practice more to give the Dhamma in English. But today is the first time, so good enough, right? Thank you very much. Thank you, Kit. Hi, Douglas. For spook water, do you really think that equanimity requires no pleasure or not being attached to it? The pleasure here is sukha. In Pali is sukha. Sukha vedana, like happiness, right? And the equanimity is the different one. Is upekha or atukkhama sukha vedana. It's the different feelings. There are 5. There are 3, and there are 5. To elaborate, right? The first one is tukha vedana, physical pain. Tomanassa vedana, mental pain. Yeah, you can say that, right? Sukha vedana, physical pleasure. Somanassa vedana, mental pleasure. Yeah. And upekha or atukkhama sukha vedana or equanimity. So it's the different type of feeling. So for the fourth jhana, it means the third jhana is the sukha vedana, the pleasure. Pleasure here as well, the physical as well, and the mind as well, and the one-pointedness of mind. But for the fourth jhana, it's the different type of feeling. It's the upekha or equanimity. So it's different. And the Buddha said the equanimity is better in terms of it's like more delicate than the sukha vedana or the pure or the happiness. Yes. Thank you, Karuna. Today's teaching was excellent. Thank you very much. Thank you for teaching in a second language. Thank you very much. I try my best. Gonna be better if I can speak in Thai, but anyway, our Prajan, the Prajanandayani, that she passed, the one that passed away, she said that it's our duty as the monastics, not for Thai, don't just give the Dhamma talk in Thai, because not only Thai people suffer, not only Thai people want to learn about the Dhamma or the wise words of the Blessed One, but everyone around the world. So this is why the Prajanandayani would like us to go to the states that we went to the empty cloud. We have her blessing to go to go aboard to give a Dhamma talk in English. She said it's like to be able to help everyone despite the language barrier. It's our duty. So I'm delighted to be able to do this duty for you all today. Hi, thank you, John. Your English is very good. I look forward to hearing you give more Dhamma talk. Thank you very much. And thank you for everyone to participate in this Dhamma talk. I hope you learn a lot of things, a lot of beneficial things, and give like the encouragement for you to practice meditation as a way, as a tool to reach the insight, the right jnana, the right knowledge, and then the right liberation. Think of it as two. And yeah, hi Manal, thank Ayya for this Dhamma talk, and we'll see you all again next week, next Thursday, 7 p.m. here in Thailand. But yeah, anywhere in the world that you are, hope you have a good day, a great day, and may the power of the Triple Gem protect you all. Before we conclude, let us say Sadhu 3 times. Sadhu, 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 Anumodhami. Have a great day, everyone. See you next week. Goodbye.